Hey, I'm Max, and as usual, today I'm starting a new game without finishing my previous one. But thankfully, there's a lot of common points between the game I was working on and this new idea I had, so I will be able to reuse a lot of the code. First, I copied a lot of the shooting, aiming, and AI from my previous game, then I added a few things like effects and a temporary map, and only in 2 days I already had this, 2 armies of aliens shooting at each other. I can also pick up a pistol and shoot, and you can see that my bullets don't exactly go to my crosshair. That's because I'm not aiming, so if I add the aiming feature and try again, you can see that when aiming the accuracy goes up a lot, but my walk speed is reduced. So in only 48 hours I managed to have a basic shooting game already. But obviously this is not fun or unique at all. I think the first step to making it more fun is to add more weapons. Every alien having the same weapon makes it boring. So I decided to add many different weapons with different fire rates, accuracy, ammo capacity, damage, and things like that. So I added a long pistol with more accuracy and damage, a rifle with fast fire, a ray gun with a lot of damage, and a sniper with a lot of damage but slow fire. I also made it so aiming zooms a little bit the camera for each weapon, and of course the sniper zooms a lot because it's a sniper, and I also made it so headshots do more damage as it is in most games. The bullets also now do damage upon touching the target, unlike before when the damage was made when you clicked. Now I felt like it would be good to add the UI to show the HP and ammo to the player. I also made the army spawn with a couple of each weapon, and wow, just like that we already have 2 armies with different weapons fighting each other. I can also play and help my team win, but right now I'm invincible, so there isn't much challenge. So I'll make myself take damage on hit too, but I don't want to just lose when I run out of health. I don't really want to respawn either, because if I make big maps, then I have to run back all the way to where the fight is, leaving a lot of downtime for the player. So I thought instead when the player's character dies, he should be able to spectate each teammate AI and be able to take control of one of them. This way, unless your whole team gets wiped, you should be able to stay in the action all of the time. So let's try it. Okay, so now when I die, I can spectate each AI in my team, and when I find the one I want, I can hit enter and start controlling it. This means no respawn or walk time. It's a great idea, I think. Now the temporary map has done its job, and it's time to make a real one, because right now there's no movement involved, the armies just spawn and shoot. So I made a new map a little bit bigger and also more detailed to hopefully allow more complex battles in the future. For now, the armies will just run towards each other and shoot, but I hope that later I can add a more complex AI, maybe even a neural network, to make them fight differently and over the whole map. But before that, I have to make the characters respawn after a few seconds to make sure the fights don't last only a few minutes. I also added a max amount of respawns so the game can eventually end as well. You can see at the top the number of troops left for each team, including the troops that are currently alive, and the amount of respawns left. So I thought just doing this part would take me 2 weeks, but turns out it only took me 4 days. So I guess let's keep going. Now we have a basic army game, but that's just a worse version of Battlefield or games of that type. So now I need something unique to make it more fun. I thought these aliens could gain mana from attacking enemies and then use that mana to heal themselves or use magical powers. So I made it so when you deal damage, 25% of that damage is given to you as mana, and then you can use your mana to regen your health. The lower your health is, the faster it regens, so while regenerating, unless you have many enemies attacking you at once or you run out of mana, you shouldn't die. But obviously there's no point to mana if all it does is regen HP. So let's add a few powers. First, I thought a good power would be to allow the player to fly for 5 seconds in exchange for 5 mana. Flying definitely is a powerful spell if you use too much of it, but if it costs 5 mana and only lasts for 5 seconds, I think that's fair. When you're flying, you can hit enemies more easily, but so can they. Next, I made a power that throws a fireball where you are aiming. I made it cost no mana for testing, but obviously it will also cost mana, so you can't spam it. It does AoE damage where it lands, hitting every enemy or ally in that radius. Right now, the fireball can collide with bullets, so if you shoot at enemies that are shooting at you, it may explode in midair, but I'm not sure if I want to keep that or not yet. Now the problem is I don't want to have a different keybind for each power that I want to use, because if I want to add 5 or 6 powers, then I don't want 5 or 6 different keybinds. So let's make a menu for selecting your powers. For now, I made a basic grid power selector with the name of the power. Putting your mouse over the button shows you a description and the mana cost. This feels kind of bad to use when you have to aim to shoot like a fireball, but that's okay for now. Now I can use both fly and fireball at once with only one keybind. Next, I made what I think is the best power ever. I made it spawn a shield around you that blocks only incoming bullets, meaning you can shoot out from inside, but you can't get shot at inside. It lasts for 5 seconds and has no limit to how many bullets it can stop for now, but I might add a limit later. For testing purposes, I made it cost no mana so I could spam it, but obviously it will cost a lot because it is very strong. I could also have made the shield follow the character, but I thought this would be way too overpowered. At least like this you can't move while you're in the shield. Finally, I added invisibility and a weapon overload, which makes your weapon fire twice as fast with no ammo cost for 5 seconds. Now I can turn back on the mana cost for each power and let the AI characters use the powers randomly for now. Hopefully later I can make the AI use the powers in a smart way. But for now at least, they are able to use the powers randomly. I just had to balance the mana cost of each so there isn't too many powers at once, especially the shields, because otherwise the game is kind of paused when everyone is in a shield, no one can get hit. The result is pretty good in my opinion. We have 2 alien armies at war with each other. The player can participate and take control of other AIs in his team if he dies, using your mana effectively by regenerating your health and using powers as well as better positioning will cause the player to win almost every game. I'm surprised by how much I could do considering I started this project only like 5 days ago. I think it's mainly because I used assets I downloaded and reused code from my previous projects, so I didn't actually have to do that much. In the next video, I'd like to make a smart AI using the neural network and machine learning I've been working on for a few weeks now. However, at the time of recording this audio, I've actually been trying for over a week now and it's still not working, so if you don't see a video about that, I guess I failed. But in case I succeed, make sure to subscribe if you want to see it.